We have breaking news to bring to you about the Washington Post, my former employer, as it turns out. Will Lewis, the chief executive and publisher of the paper since 2024, has announced that he is stepping down. This comes just a few days after the historic news organization cut about 30% of its staff. More than 300 journalists laid off in a move that prompted one former editor, Marty Baron, to call it one of the, quote, darkest days in the history of the world's greatest news organizations. I don't know.
How do you feel about this?
Yeah, somebody who worked there.
I've been really sad all week. Like, I feel like I've been grieving for the loss of this great institution. I mean, it still exists, but it is a shadow of its former self. A lot of people, myself included, took buyouts last year. A lot of people left voluntarily for other reasons, and now they just slashed a third of the publication staff, basically the entire sports section, the entire local section, lots of foreign correspondents, including people in war zones. So it's just, I don't know, it's this destruction of this great institution. It's terrible for journalism. And, what was the point, Will Lewis? What was the point of all of this?
I'm going to say something because I know that it's important, and we talk a lot about the changing media landscape and the challenges that media organizations face and whether they're profitable or financially sustainable. That's not what this is about, no matter how much you try and spin it. This, for me at least, is about oligarchy controlling our institutions of free press. Jeff Bezos, and people have been talking about the numbers all week, has spent billions of dollars on yachts, weddings, parties, all kinds of things, which he's totally entitled to do. But the idea that you have decided to gut and destroy, or as you said, kind of reduce one of the most hallowed institutions that we had, one of the most important institutions for press in this country, and the way that you've done it after what he did last year with holding an endorsement of Kamala Harris, and also then gutting the opinion section, saying it's no longer going to provide opinion about anything except free markets.
And personal liberties.
And personal liberties, thank you. I think that the alarm bells have been going off for some time, but if what happened this week does not make every American wake up and stand up and say, the people who have money in this country have too much power and are ruining so many of our institutions that are important to the functioning of our democracy, I genuinely don't know what will. And that's how I see this. I don't see this as a business decision of people looking at spreadsheets and saying the numbers weren't there and we have to kind of re-earn trust and we have to scale down. And
yeah, I mean, first of all, if you're concerned about the newspaper business, the direction of the newspaper business and the challenges of the newspaper business have been in place and well understood and by valid, everyone and valid. Yeah. Before Bezos actually got into the business.
So he was supposed to be the savior.
Yeah, he was supposed to say the money doesn't matter for me. It's about the principle of this institution.
Exactly. And so, and he actually was a decent steward for a time and then made a very sharp turn. And I think that sort of tells you exactly.
And we shouldn't forget he spent $75 million to promote and sign a deal with Melania Trump to do his.
By the way, I do want to plug the fact that we have Marty Baron, the
later
former,
on in the show,
tomorrow actually, so he can give us an inside look at what it was like to work with Mr. Bezos.